What's up, guys? Marvin and Kid here coming to you again. Welcome back to the Opinion Spot. And today on the Opinion Spot, I got a kind of an unpopular opinion that may or may not be really welcoming to a lot of people, especially even to the pack. You may look at your alpha a little differently. You may even want to leave the pack. Whatever you do, just know that my opinion should never sway you or anything like that. That's all it is, an opinion. But it is an unpopular opinion. So what is this unpopular opinion? Well, let me explain it to you. This unpopular opinion is I am not really excited or for the new Batman HBO Max cartoon, and I'll even have to go Superman as well. And it bothers me a lot because it's like, here we go again. You give us another Batman, and I'm gonna be honest with you guys, I'm a little Batman burnt out with animated. Yes, I will check out Long Halloween. Why? Because that's one of my favorite Batman stories. I am looking forward to that, but I'm a little Batman burnt out. I really am. DC, you do it again. You continue to shove the bat down our throats. But I get it. It makes the green. You know, he's a big draw. I get it. Superman continues to kind of always be trailing behind him. Once Superman was the big name, now Batman basically took that. And for that series, the whole adventures of Superman and Lois, and you know, it's the whole team. It's a series that's going to focus on Clark, Lois, and Jimmy. I really the art style, very anime, things like that. I get it, but I don't really care. And why not a Wonder Woman animated series? Why not? To me, Warner Brothers, you kind of dropped the ball with that. You could have brought us a Trinity animated series. Give one to Batman, give one to Clark, and give one to Diana. Why? Why not? She's popular. Hell, she kind of properly even saved the DCEU. So you need to give her a little bit more props for that. But my biggest problem also with that being said is, because I've been on HBO Max, I've been rewatching a lot of the old shared universe cartoons. The ones that I used to watch on Kids WB and things like that on Saturdays. It's a good time. I mean, yeah, I was in my late teens, but it still was great. The point is, I'm watching Superman, the animated series, with Tim Daly and all of them, and I'm watching this and I'm like, he and Lois never get together on this show. I watch the animated series of Batman from the original animation all the way up to when the animation changed to feel like it's more in the Superman. And I'm looking at that and I'm like, there was still a lot of things amiss, a lot of things they could have touched on in this series, and they never did it. Now, yes, with the Batman, there is a web series, there is a comic that focuses and continues the trend of that series, and it's good. The New Adventures is good, but there was still a lot of things that they dropped the ball on, and this is where I feel like when they announced this should have been more of a continuing of that shared universe. Now I know maybe some people are like, oh, but we didn't need that. But the way I look at it, what's going to be so different about the Batman? Outside of his look, he looks more like his classic look when he first dropped back in the late 30s. Okay, it's still going to have Bruce Timm, and it's still, but Matt Reeves now is going to be, is also an executive producer, the same Matt Reeves who directed The Batman, and who's going to be doing the Gotham PD show on, I get it, but you could have given us more stability. There could have been more stability with that. Did we really need reboots of these series? No. In my opinion, no. That's what makes this unpopular. I don't really care about it. I feel like they should have continued. There's so much they could have touched on. Let's start with the Batman, the animated series. We could have, because they're touching on it now in the comics. The comic that kind of continues. But comics are one thing, and people like me who are comic fans, and then there's people who just watch the shows. They're not going to pick up a comic. Let's be honest, they're not. So you give them characters in the animated series of Batman. Dick did become Nightwing. Barbara became Batgirl. But there was no Jason Todd. They brought Jason Todd in the comic series. But how cool it was, and I'm not even a big Jason Todd fan, but how cool would it have been if they had brought Jason Todd in the series and to kind of give a little backstory into what happened to him. Now, people will say, well, they kind of did bring Jason Todd because they mixed Tim Drake and Jason Todd together. And yeah, and I did not like that. I did not like that. I'm not a big fan of Tim Drake, the animated series Tim Drake, because Tim is not like Jason Todd. He's not basically almost a borderline street urchin. He's intelligent. He's smart. He's one of my favorite Robins. They could have touched on. They could have brought in. I even put it on Facebook, and people were even saying like, "Dude, they could have brought in the DC animated U version of Stephanie Brown, Cassandra Cain, Lady Shiva. They could have maybe done the Court of Owls. We so many different, even characters that are new characters in the Batman universe that are in the comics now. Like somebody even said, one of my friend on Facebook said, his name is Ezekiel Morris. He said they could have brought in like Punchline or somebody like that. Maybe Harley finally is away from Joker and is now rolling around with Poison Ivy. There was still a lot of rich storytelling they could have did, as well as bringing in their own created characters. One of my favorite created characters in the animated series of Batman, yeah, Harley was just made for TV and then transitioned into the comics. But another character that I really enjoyed that never made the transition into the comics was Baby Doll. Her story was so tragic, and it is one of my favorite episodes in the animated series of seeing this woman who has this condition that still makes her look like she's still a little girl, and that's a condition that really happens. There's actors like the late Gary Coleman and even Emmanuel Lewis fall into that category, and the only kind of time she had being happy was when she was on this TV show with her make-believe family. It's a really good episode. I love that episode. And they could have continued with that. On the side of Superman, like I said, him and Lois never get together. He doesn't even tell Lois that he's Superman. They never get together. I would have loved to seen them get together. I would have loved to seen them bring in. I would love to see them get married, have baby, either have them do Connor Kent, the clone of Clark and Lex, and even do Jonathan Kent. There was still a lot of rich storytelling they could have did in the animated series, and incorporating a lot of famous Superman stories they didn't get a chance to do in those shows. Another good example of that would have been really seeing Steel, John Henry Irons, look more iconically like his real self with the S, the House of L crest, and the cape. I'm big on staying true and accuracy, and I can tell you right now, I hate animated Steel look in the DC animated universe. I hate that look. He just looks like a drone, and I hate it. He just looks like a steel man, with a hammer, and that's it. I didn't like that. I really wish they'd went all balls in with his look. But I would love to see them go more in deep with him and his niece, Natasha Irons, becoming Steel herself, or Vapor. There's still a lot of things they could have did besides just rebooting and giving us new series. That's just me. You feel me? That's just me. To me, there was still enough rich storytelling they could have done, but they decided to go anew. And how new are you gonna go? I look at the Batman and I'm like, what are you gonna tell? Like, what really is gonna be? Is it gonna just be gritty and dark? Well, we kind of got that already in the WB series. Even the original got dark. There were many episodes that was just dark. And then, of course, when they switched it and got more to the animation style of the animated Superman series, it was still dark. And yes, even then, Bruce became a little more dickish. Like, I didn't like that too much, but still. And I'll even go here, because I know people even said it. They could have even brought in Damian Wayne, and I'm not a big fan of that guy. I hate Damian Wayne. But yes, they could have done that. But we'll never know, because now if they had announced, and I'm going to end it with this, if they had announced that this series was going to be a continuary of those series that I just mentioned, I guarantee you the hype would have been even more than what it is. Because how much more can you do with a new Batman series? What are you really going to tell? Unless this series goes more deep into his detective side of things, okay. But outside of that, what's the difference? The only I could see from the picture was he looks more like his 1930s, early 30s look, where he was truly more of a pulp era character holding the. And alright, I'll say that if they show him carrying a gun like his classic self, which he used to, then I'm like, okay, now they're going somewhere. But fat chance of that happening. With the Superman one, like I said, it's got that anime feel. It looks more like the style of animation that last Spider-Man cartoon had. But the point is just, I feel I don't care enough about it. I really wish they'd have stayed true and continued the story, because there's still, like I said before, I'm rewatching a lot of this stuff over just to refresh my memory on things of, like, what episode this, how this, and I'm like, I'm finishing up Superman. I'm finishing up the last season of Superman right now, and I'm in the third season of the Batman the Animated Series, when they were going under the adventures of Batman and Robin. And the last episode I watched was when they brought in the Terrific Trio, and with the Superman, I just finished watching the last episode I watched with animated series of Superman was when they brought Kyle Rayner in as Green Lantern. And I'm just like, man, there's still so much they could have touched on in this series, in both series. And once again, no Wonder Woman. What the hell? Why not? Why? Is it wrong for me to want a Wonder Woman animated series? I feel like no. To me, a Wonder Woman series that focuses on Wonder Woman but also has character guests like Donna Troy, Cassandra Sandsmart, and hell, you want to even go further? You can bring in the new Wonder Girl now that's been introduced in the comics. That'll get people talking. But characters like Giganta, Devastation, Cersei's. I mean, come on. But with that being said, guys, look. If you are excited for it, I'm happy for you. But for me, I'm not. Because I feel they dropped the ball with this. And if that gets me hate because of what I said, because of my opinion, fine. And if you feel differently or somewhat the same, please leave your comments in the section down below. This is the opinion spot. I want to hear your opinions. If you think I'm just speaking hot out then hey, tell me. But the fact is, I feel like that been there, done that. Let's get some new stuff. Let's get new characters out there. You know what I'm saying? You feel me on that? Like, it is what it is. But with that being said, guys, this is the opinion spot. I hope you guys enjoyed the little topic. Stay tuned next time on the opinion spot, guys. The next episode will be where I talk about an actor, Mr. I should keep his name a secret. I won't tell you who it is. But I will tell you is that I'm going to be doing a list of characters I feel this guy could play now that his show has come to an end.